Hi, this is Blake Levine, and today I want to do a educational audio about bipolar parenting. So for those of us that live with bipolar, it's very healthy and helpful to have ways to handle our emotions when we have children. So I just finished taking my son to the park. I have a 4-year-old son, Ryan, and I've learned that letting him connect with other children and get out his energy is a really positive way of being a parent. I let him go to the park. He met a couple of kids. They were playing with some of his Matchbox cars, and I learned that just him learning to socialize and connect is really helpful, and it's a positive thing for his growth. Oftentimes when I go to the park, I happen to meet other parents, and even if we're just briefly speaking, it's very nice for them and for me to talk about what the joys of parenting are. I also believe that as a parent with bipolar, you have to learn to pace yourself. For some of us, the kids wake up at 6 in the morning and they're up all day, and it can be a very long and tiring process. In my life, my wife is often up early, and in the morning she watches my son and daughter on the weekends, and then later on in the day I try to do my best to help them. And we found that by taking turns, letting her spend a few hours in the morning with them and then me spending a few hours in the afternoon, it ends up working better, and we both kind of have some time to do our own thing. The hours that she's watching them, I can sleep a little later or go do some exercise. When I take over, she can go out and do some shopping or get her nails done or take a break or do something that she feels is helpful for herself. I also want to say that being a bipolar parent is a long journey. As a mom or a dad, you never know what's going to happen with your kids, but if you learn to not get as angry or hostile towards them, it gives them a much better way of developing their minds, because when kids are yelled at or screamed at for doing things wrong, they end up really having sometimes a complex about trying things, or they start to feel negative about you as a parent. And I've learned that sometimes it's hard to keep control of our voice and our anger, but you maybe want to try to teach them and say, that wasn't what you should have done, but here's some other options, or give them a timeout and say, the reason I'm giving you a timeout is because this is why you are in trouble, and if you don't do that again, you won't face these consequences, and if you do, and if you have that negative behavior again, this is what I'm going to do. And you set out the ground rules and you say, hey, I am your mom or dad, but I'm in charge of teaching you, and these are the things you must follow in my house. And even as the kids get older, I don't have obviously kids that are in their teens yet, but they can often be defiant and angry. And if you have bipolar, you want your children to respect you, and it's a very tight rope to walk on, where you're trying to teach them and let them have some independence, but you're also still the boss. And I want to say that you have to kind of set boundaries with your children, where you teach them about what they can and cannot do, and all of us have different rules, and sometimes being too strict can not be a good thing, because by taking away all their freedoms, they end up going and doing things even worse. But you have to figure out what's okay. Will you let them talk to you about what goes on at parties if someone is drinking there or smoking there? Do you have rules about letting them stay out till a certain time, and things they can do? Are they allowed to have a boyfriend or girlfriend? So these are kind of things as a parent you have to figure out. And when you have bipolar, it's important to say, I'm going to do a good job. I'm very blessed to have a child, and I want to be there for them. And I found that for me as a dad, trying to teach my daughter and help her, and my son, it's been a journey, and I continue every day to try to do my best and hope that they can be successful in their lives. So I just want to thank you for watching this video. I do a life coaching program by phone. You can learn about it on my website below, bipolaronline.com or blakelevinecoaching.com, and I'll also share one of my books below that I think may be helpful for you, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.